The Xbox Adaptive Controller is a device created by Microsoft so that gamers with limited mobility are able to access games on their Xbox One or Windows 10 PC. So this is the box that it comes in. Microsoft have added some accessibility features to the box to make it easier to open. So they've got these two tabs at the front, which you can pull, and then it's got a little pull open tab that you can then lift the box open with. So inside the box, you've got your Xbox Adaptive Controller, and again, they've made it easier to get out by including this tab that you can just slide the device out with. You then have another tab that you can lift out, and that has the USB-C charging wire in it. There are also some instructions as well. This is the Xbox Adaptive Controller itself. On the front, you've got two large buttons. These default as the A button and the B button. These three buttons here are all found on your standard Xbox One controller. We've got a view button, we've got the menu button, the Xbox Home button, you've got a D-pad, and we also have a profile shift button. So along the back of the device, there's a row of switch ports that correspond to the buttons on the Xbox One controller. These ports enable you to plug in external accessibility switches. You've got a sync button. On the end, you've got the USB-C socket where the USB-C charger goes in. On the side, you've got a USB for a joystick, which will act as the left joystick. You've also got a headphone jack. And on the other side, you've got a USB socket that you can plug an external joystick in, and this will act as the right joystick. Some external joysticks that you can use on the adaptive controller require a bit more power. This is where this DC power port on the back comes into play. So on the base of the Xbox Adaptive Controller, there's a couple of different options for mounting it. The Xbox Adaptive Controller can be used wirelessly, however it does come with a USB-C charging lead. To sync the Xbox Adaptive Controller wirelessly, press the home button so the light comes on. Press the sync button on the front of the Xbox so that light flashes, and then press the sync button on the Adaptive Controller and the lights should sync up. And that's now synced. To use the adaptive controller on a Windows 10 PC, you can either sync it via Bluetooth, or you can use this Microsoft adapter, which also has a sync button on the side of it. All of the switch ports on the back of the adaptive controller can be remapped in the Xbox Accessories app. This includes the two big black buttons on the front of the Xbox Adaptive Controller. You can also remap a button so that it acts as a shift button. This means that you can have one switch that has two functions. The profiles that you make with your button remapping save to the device itself. So this means that you could remap all your buttons on a Windows 10 PC and then use your profiles on your Xbox One if this is easier for you. You can also remap so that buttons will act as joystick directions for both left and right joystick. The Xbox Adaptive Controller can be used as a standalone device with accessibility switches plugged in and joysticks. You can use any accessibility switch with a 3.5mm jack on the Xbox Adaptive Controller. These are the three main switches that we use here at SpecialEffect. The first is the buddy button. This is good if you have larger movements and you find pressing the small buttons on the standard controller difficult. The next one is the spec switch. This is similar to the buddy button, just a little bit smaller, and it requires the same amount of pressure to push, but it's a good option if you just want something not quite as big as the buddy button, if space is maybe a little bit limited. So the final switch is the ultralight switch. This switch requires very little force to activate it, so it's a really good option if you have limited strength in your fingers. If you find the buttons on the Xbox One controller too hard to push, this would be a really good option for you. The Xbox Adaptive Controller allows you to plug the switch in for every button on a standard Xbox controller. These switches are plugged into RT and LT for accelerate and brake for this game. The Xbox Adaptive Controller can also be used alongside a standard Xbox One controller using Copilot. This means that you could use a standard Xbox One controller and supplement any buttons or joysticks that you cannot use with the Xbox Adaptive Controller. So to set up Copilot, press your Xbox Home button and go to Xbox Accessories. You then select the menu with the three dots below Configure. Ensure that your controller is assigned to the profile that you want to play as, and then go down to Turn on Copilot. Then your controller and the Xbox Adaptive Controller will work as one player. Here is an example of using the Xbox Adaptive Controller alongside a standard Xbox One controller using Copilot. We are using the game Fortnite to demonstrate this. The A, B, X and Y buttons have been mapped over to the D-pad, and the joysticks have been swapped so that in the game the left stick is doing the camera. We then have three switches plugged into the Xbox Adaptive Controller. The blue switch is doing up on right stick to make the character run forward. The yellow switch is plugged into RT on the Xbox Adaptive Controller, and the green switch is plugged into RB in the Xbox Adaptive Controller. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, please get in contact with SpecialEffect.